All right, switching gears now, the House Judiciary Committee issuing a subpoena for the unredacted version of the Mueller report. Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler says that the entire report on the Trump-Russia investigation is necessary to make, quote, informed decisions. Joining us now for reaction to the subpoena, Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs. Congressman Biggs, they need all of it, not just the redacted version, by the way. They need the notes. They need the grand jury notes. They need everything, every single scrap of this investigation, because otherwise it's still too murky as to what went on.
Yeah, there's really nothing murky about this. We know what went on, and that version that came out yesterday was as lightly redacted as I could have imagined. The president did not invoke privilege, either personal or executive privilege. I was surprised. So what this is, I view this, Charles, as, quite frankly, it's a test run by Mr. Nadler and the Democrats in Congress to see if there's enough juice for impeachment that the American public would support. In other words, they're going to do this as a test run, and if they don't go down in numbers, if they stay even or go up, then they'll go forward with impeachment. If it's tough for them, then they're not going to impeach.
But the idea, though, that if some of these things are ultimately rejected or there's limited access to them, are they going to just continue to complain about those sort of things when I think the American public is really done with this? It's over. It's done. How you feel about it is how you feel about it. But it seems to me that it would be a huge political mistake to keep harping on it.
You're exactly right. This is baked into the political process right now. It's done. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to as I've been out in the last couple of days, knowing that this Mueller report is coming, and we all knew what was going to be in it. There's no surprises in it. They said it's over with. Let's move on. And I think that's where the American public is today.
And by the way, Steny Hoyer, Nancy Pelosi, and even to Cory Booker all saying, please, let's move on from impeachment and get to some other things. In the meantime, the border issue is really, really heating up. In fact, the ACLU of New Mexico is asking the state government to take actions against what they're calling border vigilantes, who they say are illegally arresting migrants at the border. This is more Central Americans, by the way, are reportedly approaching the border. So these caravans keep coming. Records amount of folks are coming, particularly families and children. Everyone agrees it's a crisis. What are your thoughts about average Americans, though, going down there, perhaps armed, and either making arrests or trying to help?
Well, I think it's a real problem. They don't have any authority to arrest, and there's always the potential that they're going to get in the way. Right now, most of the people that are coming in most of the sectors, all but one sector that I know of, these people are coming across, they're sitting down, and you can have one, maybe two Border Patrols agents dealing with 40, 50, 100 people. It's fairly orderly, regardless of whether, and I don't like what's happening, but I just don't think that we need to be in there as normal citizens in interfering with this or causing this to get exacerbated into a violent situation.
Before I let you go, some Democrats are proposing setting up asylum operations in Central America, so to allow folks in those countries to make the request there instead of making the trek to this country. Would that help to alleviate the issue?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually proposed legislation before saying for asylum, you have to be in your home country to do that. You can't come to this country and get one foot on the line, because we're releasing them right now, Charles. After about 1 or 2, maybe 3 days, they get released into the interior. We're highly unlikely to ever see those people again once they're released.
Congressman, thank you very much. Always appreciate when you come on.